Bismillah, in the name of Allah, walhamdulillah, all praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All glory is due to Him, all credit is due to Him and Him alone. We send salutations upon the selected one, Muhammad al-Mustafa, the one who is worthy of everlasting praise, and the one who is everlastingly in state of praising. We send all of our greetings and our salutation to all of those seekers of true everlasting peace with the greeting of the paradise, which is Assalamu alaikum, special peace of the Creator be upon you and His mercy. Going into the activists and the career of the Quranic practitioner, and we'll be picking up from where, after 2 years of French school, we can summarize that we were sent to the palace of the Fir'aun, just as Musa was sent to the palace of Fir'aun. Why? There are always high points and low points wherever you may be, no matter what the circumstances are. But clearly, we will get to the point where our mother would make the ultimate decision, and she would base it off of the fact that we did not come there to learn French. She said, if I wanted you to learn colonialization, I would have left you in America. I brought you here to learn the Quran. However, what was something she knew was very different from what she did not know. And what it is that she was making sure that we got away from, with the exception of drugs, there's one exception, and the secondary one is crime. Because as she mentioned, which definitely came to pass, was that yes, our peers all had met their fate either in the graveyard or behind bars. Every last one of them. So we were safe from that. In her mind, being raised as a black man in America would get you one or the other, particularly and especially without a good, sound education. And therefore, we were exposed, we were definitely compromised in the aspects that she did not want us, namely, particularly entertainment. How people entertain in America may not necessarily be the way that people entertained in Africa, even back then. But the point of the matter is that entertainment, if it is not in accordance with remembering the Creator, then entertainment is for the remembrance of shayateen. The other problem is that the Father was the Father, and practically He could not be told anything that we could see. Mind you, again, the family stretched in the age bracket at that time. He, being the father, was well in his 50s. And the one who lived with us and considered our sibling, whether taken in by him, which a lot of us were, or whether it was biologically connected, and a lot of the biological children are connected. The age bracket was from 33 down to, at this point, 2 years in, 1 year old. You know, with Hamza would be the one born, you know, around that time. And again, 3 years as we're in, there is a story there. But the point of the matter is that all throughout these age brackets, you have a lot of bullying. You have a bullying system. And it goes as we children who were in the age bracket of, 6, like Dempsey saying, 6, 7, to where you get to 13, 14, because this is the age that Modufal and Jili and Rashid and Khadim, you know, they're at that age. So for them, it was as if when we got into a tussle, sitting could be called to take care of the dispute, and whoever was wrong would get a whooping. Even if you got beat and then you were wrong, you still might get a whooping. Sitting might look at you and make, you know, remarks, but then you would be set free. You could go. You already got your beating. Now, again, if you were found guilty of starting the fight, although you won the fight, you would still get a whooping. Still get a whooping. But this did not extend to the elder ones from Babakar, Tonto Nablai, Fal, you know, Ahmed, you know, you had Sheikh Mbake was there. If you got a whooping from 17, 18 on up, sitting does not get involved. He acts like nothing happened. So they will come and they will bully us. And instead of sitting getting involved, he understands that if he tries to say something to one of them and then it gets out of hand, then the rest of them are going to be able to do it anyway in the near future, and they know that they're going to get away with it because somebody else did it. That will take away from his credibility. There's only one exception of why sitting would get involved with the elderly ones, you know, those who were those who were older than 12, 13, 14. That would be on behalf, the father told him to get involved, or one of the mothers said, you know, that we wanted somebody's hair to get cut. Jogufal. Anywho, the hierarchy had to be mentioned. Now, of course, there would be a time right before Malika Mauna Muhammad arrives to make all of these assessments and decide what to do. But again, you had, you know, those siblings, you know, who are much elderly, and definitely when they wanted to have what it is that they wanted to have out of, you know, the youngsters, such as ourselves, they would actually get it. So I think that this hierarchy is mentioned. And there's also a hierarchy where at the French school also, being that there are classes and everything of that nature, and, you know, you actually had a lot of navigations between the school and the camp, the military or the gendarmerie camp. Also, there is a number. So there are a lot of navigations between the two. And of course, there is a very important aspect of, having these slingshots, of course, with the musketeers, for hunting purposes, as well as the pellet. This was actually the first time that we experienced the hunting with the pellet gun, so that was a big thing. We also made numerous what we considered as navigational capacities in the forest. So that included having certain weaponry made. Of course, these were slingshot, and the other one was a bow and arrow, and the bow and arrow regiment brigade, which was like a missile shot. We were just again experiencing growing up as young boys, not really having much of understanding as to how far we had gotten, or not gotten, not really coming to a complete understanding of that. Something makes a lot of sense. Again, part of the lower times would be that we were under those circumstances, that we felt, that we're being deprived of, our home, deprived of our family, deprived of our society. But then there were other times when we simply, had to get along, despite the fact that we were the only 3 out of, 35 or 40 some, odd family members. We had to learn to get along. So we spent time learning the sayings of the culture and the society. We spent time interacting. We spent time growing with them, with our family there. And as time went on, we became more and more acclimated. But this bullying system, it at some point definitely took a very serious toll. We can understand why there's so many suicides because, through bullying, people, get bullied until they feel like they have no control whatsoever of their destiny. And they're saying, since we don't have any control, what's the point of us continuing on with life? But the father treated everybody as if he was their own child. Musafal, who was a biological musketeer, would say that when we first arrived and we were always, hanging around the father and we were having meals with him, he actually said, to everybody else, like, look, why do these people have to have so closeness of my father? He bore me, not them. So it just, again, relates to how, how passionate, at most of the times, especially, during the times of those early years, it was really about us feeling as if he was, our father, literally our father. He really did make us feel that way. And it's only later on in life that we found out, that so many others were actually made to feel that way. Also, whom we thought actually were his children biologically, but they weren't. So this is demonstrating his generosity to the extent there. I want to let it be known that when my mother, rahmatullahi alayha, came and she saw the conditions that we were in, she was not immediately taken aback. Of course, she listened to us recite Quran, and she listened to us speak the dialogue, the Wolof. I had forgotten so much of English, with just first, second, and third grade English that I had. Now I have first and second grade French, or Wolof if you may. I was reading, writing, certain Arabic scripts, but not with tajweed. Sitting did not teach us tajweed. We did not, or I did not get tajweed or recitation from sitting. It was very different circumstance. So it was mainly memorization, reading, writing. I want to say that for the first 2 years I'm in French school, of course, again, 3 years altogether, and also 3 years of English school. This already makes 6 years of elementary school. It will be determined later on that there's a total of 12 years of elementary school. Later, 2 years of rigorous or completed Quranic memorization, and there would be a transition from there into Quranic teaching. And later on, when we calculated the 12 years of elementary school and the 2 years of such Hifz Quran school, then associating that with the 2 years of GED, prior to going further from there, we wanted to just make sure that we made that note very clear. We actually looked at 12 years of elementary school again, then 2 years of which coincided, actually the 2 years of Quranic rigorous school, the year and a half actually coincided with the last portion there of the Islamic Institute, which is in the Gambia. So we just wanted to bring everyone's attention onto that. With Ahmed al-Somal, Allah yahfaduhu. And then we will move on to what happened beyond the general education diploma achievement, which was in 1997. But we intend on making sure that the information is as transparent as possible. We know we had the secret probes which took place in the Quranic Revolution Declaration of 2021. And by the way, those are still ongoing. They have not yet completed. However, the bio of the Quranic activist and revolutionist will, in fact, be a very important piece, because when a people have the knowledge and the education, it is not befitting for the people to be rejectful instead of being dignified and honored by the education that they have and taking on that responsibility. So this is very important to understand, and if one has a passion for it, do it the right way. Do not buy into, I'm better than all of these people who cannot do, But look at those who are definitely better than you, and none were better than Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. So I'm not going to go further, because there are a number of things already which have come to light in terms of the transition. Number one is that the transition would take place partially because of the fact that we were not there to study French or watch any of the mercenary videos or World War II. We were supposed to be getting away from television. That she did not send us to watch, Dallas and Dynasty, as she mentioned.